but it's that when you pull back, it turns to the low penetrating throb. One of the guys over there on South Road in Leinster, which is south of the turbine area, he stopped me in the middle of the road a little while back when I was up there. That was December 5th when you had your bus tour. And he said, I can't stand these anymore. Right in the middle of the road. I mean, he stops me with his car and has to blurt this out. And he said, I got my relative come up here to stay at my place, and he couldn't go to sleep at night in the bedroom. I guess the bedroom faces the turbines, and the wind was blowing from the north, and he's to the south. So basically, what's he going to do? Is he going to, or is somebody going to pay to have him put a bedroom on the other side of the house and move that, make that room into something else, or whatever? He didn't say that he couldn't sleep, so maybe his bedroom's on the other side. I didn't go into that with him. But it is a very nasty throb about where he is. Plus, his building is on a slope where the turbines, the sound from the turbines goes into that slope. There are other people closer to the turbines that don't seem to be affected. So it depends on where you are, the topography, and how the wind's blowing, whether you're going to get this effect. And I talked to other people in town. There's one just down the mountain road down there that is really livid about them. He's going to develop some of his property and just take whatever money he can get. That's another. But there are, I'm just trying to tell you, there are people that are affected there. And I don't mind wind turbines. What I do mind is that people are not being compensated. You know, if a person has to put up with these things, he should be compensated. That, to me, is common sense. You know, it's just something I feel. And that's where I stand on the compensation thing. In fact, that's why I haven't had a problem with the grandpa knob setup. They haven't put their turbines on a map so that we can see where anybody might be affected. If nobody's affected, I think they're great. Not that I think they're going to make a lot of power, but you know, you'll get something out of them without disturbing people. But when you've got rich people making money everywhere, and you've got the poor joker next door, he doesn't get nothing. I don't think that's the Vermont way. And that's where I'm coming from with this wind noise. And the other thing is posted land. When they started doing, I've been in on this Leinster project from the start. At the start, they wanted 16 turbines down there. They wanted a bunch of them on my land. I have a piece of land down the south end of Leinster Mountain. I immediately told them no. Too many houses around there. Too many people are going to be really pissed off at me. But I was going to be sitting in the money here. You know, with several turbines on my land, man, this was going to look good. But that's not the way I do things. And I decided, no, we're not going to do that. I've made so many friends for making that decision, it isn't funny. I had one guy swam across a pond to get at me, and he almost had tears in his eyes. He said, you really are going to put him on the mountain, are you? We're looking right up at him, right across the pond. I said, no, this is already a done deal. We're not doing it. And the other landowner down there decided the same thing. The Monadnock Conservancy and New Hampshire Society of Preservation of Forests have bought that person's land now, and now they want mine to keep the turbines off that section of the town. And that's a good thing. You have to watch where you're putting them. It shouldn't be based on how much money I want, how much money a developer wants. It should be, you have to figure out how you're going to place them. And that's something that you folks are going to have to figure out. Now, Mr. O'Nella, he's the one who's developing them down in Leinster. When I went to the previous meetings, the first meetings we had on the turbines, we were talking about, he was talking about how good they were going to be, how open he was with the public, how everything was going to be so nice, no posted land, this town is your town, this town is my town, and there's a road that goes through his property that is very similar to your Bailey-Hazen Road. Goes right above the ridge and back down the other side. This is a town road. You could click on my one picture to show. I see a different attitude. This is his signs on that public road. This is the equivalent of your Bailey-Hazen Road. This is a town road. I actually found out Monday to make certain this is still a town road, bona fide town road on the town road map in town. He has taken over that road without town permission. And we shaded off in green what it actually says. That green is what we added. If you can read through that, that's pretty nasty stuff. There's another sign further from that saying that this is a private road and stay the hell out of there. A big change in attitude from where it started to where it is now. Posted land is something I would count on where turbines are placed. There's going to be bullet holes in these things. They're $2 million machines, and I may be on an old-fashioned Vermonter, but I think when bullet holes start appearing in $2 million machines, land gets posted. I just noticed the other day when I was up here on Route 58 up there, there's one sign with 7 of these bullet holes. I mean, there's some frustrated fellow someplace. And you wonder, what's he going to think about these turbines and what's going to happen right after that? So this is something you want to keep in mind. The bottom line here, it takes a cold soul to be sitting there counting his money that he makes off turbines, while the poor fellow right next to these things has to suffer through this throbbing for 30 solid years. That's my bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. We'll take 3 questions for Justin right now. Are there any questions for Justin? Yes, sir.
Mr. Lindholm, I've done a little research on your property. It's approximately 2 miles south of Urban 9. You have some sort of expertise on the siting of windmills and the SEC rulings for this project?
For the length,
This want me to put it all at once, or?
Yeah.
Can you answer it partially? Do you know what instruments the SEC forced the town of Munster to buy on this?
no, I don't know any of that.
Did you know that they were forced to buy a sound meter for the town, and every time there's a complaint about noise, the selectmen have to go out and check on that noise? Do you know how many times it's been used?
No, I don't.
Hasn't been out of the box, 0.
Yeah.
And that sign is on Howard Network Lane.
Right, but it's right beside the road.
On that lane.
Yeah, it's broadcasting about the road.
Mr. Lindholm, I am having that.
Mm-hmm.
It's on his land.
Okay.
No, it's not.
No, I let the other guys land.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is not a town road.
I checked on Monday, and it's right on your town road map, and they would not say otherwise down there. Mr. Thurber, I talked to him.
What's the name of the road?
It's the Bean Mountain Road. We used to call it the Bean Pasture Road.
Have you ever been on Google Earth?
Yeah, there's Tubby Lane or something like that on there, yeah. But on the official town road map,
We're talking 2 different roads here.
yeah, that's what we always call the Bean Mountain Road. I've been on it many times.
The other end is being
Yeah.
Thank you. And if you could, give your name when you ask the question. Any other questions? Well, there'll be time later, but sir, in the blue vest. Guy.
We were here the last time at the information meeting was hosted by Green Mountain Power and by Vermont Cost. I directed a question to Mr. Hallquist after the meeting was over about the notion of compensating people that are put in an untenable situation by this project. And based on the fact that Green Mountain Power is a regulated utility and that you operate in a quasi-public fashion as cooperative, it seems to me to be a very reasonable thing to suggest that you might use the power of condemnation for people whose properties essentially have been made untenable. What's your response to that now?